Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bree, and as you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to be making some coconut milk. So currently I am on a 7-day fast. I'm only drinking fruit and vegetable juices. And I recently happened upon a video where someone made coconut milk from scratch and it looks super easy, so I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so let's get started. It's actually a pretty simple recipe. You're going to need a blender, some coconuts, some water, something to store your milk in afterwards, a strainer as well as a cheesecloth, and a big bowl. So first, which is probably going to be the hardest part, is cracking open these coconuts. Luckily, I got my trusty dusty hammer. I'm going to try and see if I can get these in a reasonable amount of time, because they're very hard to open. All right, so here we have our coconuts. In order to make sure that they're ripe, first thing I heard you're supposed to do is to press on these little holes here. If they cave in or are soft, that means that the coconut is most likely bad. Also, you want to give it a good shake test and make sure you can hear the liquid in there. Hear that? So I got a couple of ones that I think are pretty good, so let's go ahead and try to crack these open. I'm going to start by just taking this wrapper off. I'm going to try to crack this right over the bowl so I don't miss any of the juice. So let's go ahead and give it a try. I heard you're supposed to like knock it around the center, with these two being on the sides, these two ends being on the side, and then just kind of knock it and go all the way around until it cracks. Okay, see? There we go. Not too bad. That didn't take too long. So one down, and then let me see if I can open this with my hands. Ooh, beautiful. All right, so put these aside and get the other one open. This one is a bigger one. You see how big that is? There we go, baby. Oh, there's so much liquid in these. I wasn't expecting this much. And then it just abruptly stops. Okay, I'm gonna knock it a couple more times. Ooh, yes, queen. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna set this liquid to the side and we're gonna work on taking the meat out of the actual coconuts. All right, y'all, so as you can see here, I got all my coconuts cracked open. The next part is to try to get the meat out. What we're going to be doing is taking this meat out, putting that in the blender with the coconut water and a little bit of just regular water, and blending that up. So I need to get all of the meat out of this coconut, and this is another difficult part. So the method I saw this guy using online, because I don't have a coconut desheller tool, he basically went inside the coconut and then he like made strips along the inside like that, and then after the strips were made, he like popped it out from the side. So I'm going to try that out and see if that's effective, because this meat is a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so going down here, trying this out. And it's oh my god, it just squirted me in the eye. I thought that cracking it open was going to be the hardest part, but this is going to take a little bit of time here. Well, I got a reasonable sized hunk out of there, but I still got a long ways to go, and this took me a long time. That's good though. I could legit just sit and munch on that. That's good. All right, I'm going to work on getting the meat out of these coconuts. All right, I got one deshelled. It took 6 minutes to do this one. Hopefully I get a bit of a groove going so it doesn't take so long for the others. Let's go. All right, so as you can see, I got the really big coconut. I got all the meat out. But this one is like super, super tough. I tasted the meat. It's a lot sweeter than this one, but it's a lot harder for me to get this one out. I think I might just maybe leave it for tomorrow because I just don't feel like wrestling with this thing all night because like I was legit going at this thing and that's all I got going there, that little tiny piece off. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with just the one coconut. Maybe I'll only use half of the coconut water that I split out or all of it. I don't think it really matters, right? I'm just gonna use all the coconut water I got out of both coconuts and the meat from just one coconut because it's you know, I don't feel like doing that. This thing is a little nuts. I don't know if I need to buy a tool or what, but it's like hard as heck to get that thing out of there. So moving on to the next step, which is blending. Okay, and so before I blend this all together, I actually do want to just taste this coconut water by itself because I do love coconut water. So I want to see what it tastes like fresh from the thing. Ooh, that's good. It's a lot sweeter. Well, not a lot sweeter, but it's a bit more sweeter and the taste is just more like concentrated in there. But yeah, that's really good. That's really good. And this is actually a good amount of liquid for 2 coconuts. I don't know. Might have to just buy the coconuts straight up from now on. But let's go ahead and get this crap in the blender. So I've got the meat from that really large coconut right here. And I do want to say, at the end of this process, you are going to be left with like coconut shavings. If you want to use those shavings after you finish making your milk, take the brown part off of this coconut. You can do that with like a potato peeler, or you could just cut it off with a knife. But I'm gonna throw away the shavings after the fact, so I'm just gonna leave this on here. I'm gonna add all this to my blender first. And like we're gonna be straining this through a strainer and a cheesecloth. So like even with the coconut water, there's like little hairs from the coconut in there. I'm not gonna worry about that too much because the cheesecloth will catch it, you know, at the end of this process. So putting the coconut in. Coconut. You can see it. And then I'm gonna add all of this liquid. And if this turns out to be a little sweeter because I'm using coconut water instead of regular water, you know, that's no problem for me. The recipe I found online was, what was it saying? It was saying like, okay, so you have 1 coconut, the meat, and the juice, and then you want to add water on top of that because the amount of coconut water is not going to cover the top of the coconut when you put it in the blender. But since I got 2 juices from the juice from 2 coconuts and only 1 coconut meat, this should be enough liquid. If not, I'll just add some water to it. All right, here we go. Okay, so first I'm just gonna look at this, check for consistency and taste, see if I should dilute it with a little bit of water. It's good. I am gonna add a little bit of water just because she's thick. That way I get a little bit more liquid and it'll be a little easier, I think, to strain it. So I'm gonna add I want to add like a cup of water to this. All right, so I lied. I'm just gonna put 3/4 a cup of water. A cup of water I think would be a bit too much. So I'm gonna add that in there. 3/4 a cup. Then put the top back on. And then just let that get all mixed in. I don't know. I expect expected this to be a bit more soupy, but you know what? I'm just going to add some more water. All right, y'all. So an additional 3/4 cup. And this is obviously to my liking. I don't want it to be too thick. All right, that should be good. Okay, see, that's more the consistency I was kind of looking for. Let me taste it again, see how that tastes. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and strain it. All right, y'all, so I have my strainer in my bowl. I went ahead and rinsed the bowl out because there was still a little coconut fragment stuck in there. Just so we have a clean slate, I went ahead and rinsed that out. I got my strainer, and I have cheesecloths, but what I'm gonna do is strain all the big chunky bits out first, get that all taken care of, and then run the liquid that collects through the strainer, because if you've ever used like a cheesecloth, those things are so tedious, and the smaller you can get the fragments, the better, so that you're not having to squeeze the heck out of that thing for like an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh my god, this is so chunky and is making a mess. Okay. Next, I'm going to grab a spoon. Grab a spoon and push this down. Now just repeat the process. Oops. Jesus. All done. Getting a lot of milk, actually. All right, so there you have it. There's the milk and the leftover coconut. You know, if you are a lazy person like I kind of am, you could just leave it at that. If you're a bit more ambitious, you could maybe take all this coconut here and, you know, squeeze the heck out of it out of a cheesecloth. But, you know, I don't think I'm going to be doing that today. I think I'm just going to have a little taste test here and then toss the rest of it in that mason jar and call it a night. This was actually, you know, it's not easy, but it's not hard either. It's the hardest part was really just taking the coconut out of the shell. But I think if you like get a technique down, or like I said, if you have that coconut desheller tool, that would make the process a lot easier. Other than that, like, high yield here. I think I'm going to try to measure that out, see how many cups it turns out to be, just so I can give you guys a rough estimate of how much milk you can get out of a process like this. But yeah, let me go ahead and actually taste this first, because I'm kind of dying to. All right, y'all, so I have a little bit of the milk here. It is looking a little chunky. I might have to run this through the strainer, but let me go ahead and just taste it first. Wow, 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 wow. That actually tastes like coconut. Like the coconut milk you buy in the store, it's very faintly coconutty. It more just tastes kind of nondescript. Like you can almost, like you can tell the difference between coconut, almond, and oat milk, obviously, but this tastes like the coconut flavor just really punches you with this. It's also a bit more sour because of the actual coconut juice that I put in there. I think that if you only did like the 1-to-1 ratio, one coconut with its coconut with its own juice plus water to supplement the rest, that kind of sour tinge would kind of go away, because you know coconut water has that little, it's not quite sour, but it is kind of a little sour. But ooh, I love that. I love that. That's so good. Yeah, but I do need to run the rest of this stuff through the cheesecloth, because it is a little chunky. And you know, with juicing, it's best to make sure there's not any, like, as little fragments of actual like flesh in there as possible, because that tends to make the juice go bad quicker. So I am going to go ahead and run that through the cheesecloth, but I'm leaving this alone. I'm not putting that through the cheesecloth, but this I will. 1 cup. Cups. Have to be about 3 cups of liquid. Maybe a little over 3 cups. Okay, there we go. Lift up the sides. And then, yeah, there's not even that much fragment left. It's just, yeah. All right. All good right there. So my cup actually has the measurements on the side. And if you can see, like right here, that's the 4 cup marker. So it's almost 4 cups of liquid. I would say that's a pretty nice yield for what we did. I'm just gonna go ahead and slap my lid on there. Oh goodness. Okay, well, whatever. But yeah, there you have it. Coconut milk, fresh. All right, y'all, so there you have it. Freshly harvested coconut milk. It took me about, let me see, what is it? Maybe like 30 minutes to make this. Is it worth the time? Is it worth all of the dishes you have to wash? I don't know. But it does taste a lot better than the coconut milk you buy from the store. And you get coconut bowls. Ooh. I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, I am in the middle of a 7-day fruit and veggie juice fast. After that, I'm going to be transitioning into eating only fruits for a week. And then after that, I'm going to be eating only raw for a week. So it's kind of this transition that I'm doing into just full-on veganism. I figure I start off with the hardest situation and then ease into the veganism. So hardest is fasting, and then next would be nothing but fruit, and then next would be the raw diet, and then after that I'm just going to transition into being vegan. So if you guys would like to follow along with that journey, I am documenting that on this channel as well. So if you'd like to follow that journey, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The first video pertaining to that subject should be next week. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and check that out. But yeah, I would definitely suggest trying this process out at least once, just so you can kind of get a taste for what it like, what coconut milk should actually taste like. Like I said, it's different, but I think it's really good. If it wasn't such a like tedious process, I'd probably do this all the time. But that being said, I got two kids. So it's way easier to just pick up a carton, put it in your basket, pay for it, and go home, But other than that, but yeah, you guys be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in our next video. Peace.